episode in the season Love Stories for season 6. Aaj we have Aman and Vedika. They're cool, they're young, they're hip, they're professionals, and they're life partners. They got married just before the lockdown, and their love story has a really cool and interesting background. It is so fun, and it is really young as yet. Thank you, Vedika and Aman, for coming on Life Begins at 40.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
having
for having
us.
us.
The two of you met. Vedika, you want to talk about working for him and then thinking of him as the guy that you connected with, was crushing on, and I'm sure Aman will have his own version to share.
So, funny story. I actually knew Aman before we started working together because, like friends, no friends,
Mhm.
not directly, but just like we had seen each other at the same parties.
Yeah, quite a
And-
few times.
And funnily enough, there's like this picture from like 7-8 years ago where we're at the same event and he's like standing right behind me. And I found it the other day. It's so
Wow.
crazy.
Right.
The one
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Morgan
yeah.
page.
That was nearly 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was
12.
10 years ago, actually. Yeah. Isn't that
Mhm.
crazy?
Yeah.
It's like destiny.
Yeah.
But like I didn't look at him even twice. I was like, whatever. But then I was leaving my job at an agency and I wanted to get into like marketing for a brand and stuff. And I didn't know that Aman was one of the founders of Kevin's. I thought he just also worked there. So I sort of spoke to him about it and I was like, would it be possible to sort of apply and stuff? And he was like, yeah, 100% send your very innocuous,
Yeah,
innocent.
also we were looking for someone actively, and
Yeah.
it was good that you
Yeah.
approached me and you walked up to me and you asked me if there was an opportunity available. So yeah, that was the first time we in fact met
Properly, yeah.
properly. Before that, I'd seen her at parties with different groups of people.
Different people.
Interesting. Groups of people or individuals?
Yes.
Just, like to get it. I'm not going to say anything. Anyway, so then what happened was that at the interview also was really funny because I met with the head of marketing and she was like, I like you, but you have to impress Aman. And I was like, okay, why? And then she was like, oh, because, he is the founder and also like he basically heads marketing. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Mhm.
And then anyway, I joined and then I realized that I think that I like men in authority, like an authority figure sort of situation.
Okay.
It was a very new realization for me. And then I was like, okay, this is interesting. What does one do about this? And me being me, I was just very forward about what I wanted. And yeah, that's it. I think I gambled.
Yeah, but
and
it
paid
didn't
off.
immediately also happen.
Yeah, we became friends. Sorry.
Yes, we had to keep it very professional. And though I did find her cute, but that had nothing to do with the hiring. The hiring was purely based on her CV, her experience, her presentation, her interview.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the initial first few months. I think.
Yeah, we were just friends.
We were friends. We were barely friends, I think.
We were good friends.
Maybe by the 3rd month or 4th month.
Yeah, because you were going through your own tough time as well. And then that also just gave us an opportunity to connect more, I think.
Also, it made it convenient because we would work together and then after work, we would sometimes hang outside. And that's when we started talking.
Yeah, and then it just blossomed.
Wow. True.
So then, crushing is easy, but how did you decide you wanted to be life partners and who took the lead?
First, I think taking the first step for me was difficult.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the life partners phase. I'm still talking about
like just dating. I think.
Just dating.
Yeah.
How did you get around to dating? Did you ask her out or did it happen organically?
Very organic.
Yeah, I think it was just super organic. It was just like, it seemed like the next logical step. I think that was what happened. And I don't think any of us were like expecting anything to come out of it long term. It was just like, oh, you know what, we like each other. It seems like fun. Let's see where it goes. But then, funnily enough, just the next year, we took a holiday together with mom and dad also, and Aman's sister,
Yeah.
which was, if you think about it, a little unconventional, but it just, I think a lot of what has brought us together is that we're just very similar in terms of how we think. So it became a lot easier to sort of go through the motions, faster maybe, faster than people normally would or ordinarily do. Usually people are dating for like 5-10 years, and then they're like, okay, chalo, let's maybe think about getting married. And then this was pretty quick in terms of
It was quick.
Yeah. So that's where it was a little bit unconventional, apart from obviously the workplace. No, actually, that's not unconventional. We have certain friends who have also started dating in the workplace.
It was unconventional for me.
I mean, for you,
I don't know any friend.
It is unconventional in normal terms also. Right?
I mean, I don't think so. I think also, see, because of why is it unconventional? It's unconventional because if it goes awry, then it becomes uncomfortable. It's an awkward place to sort of be together. But then wouldn't you say that of any other situation where people are in the same vicinity, where productivity, that way people in high school shouldn't date each other either. You have to spend the rest of those years together also. I just think that it's a lot about what perception is. It's like, it's a person in power. Is it taking advantage of the situation? Like, what is having organization? If the two of us had that level of maturity and no ill will towards the other, I feel like we could have maybe also continued to work together. Okay, fine. Or one of us would have left.
I wasn't too concerned about what other people would say, the organization or partners or colleagues. I think it was more about it was more of a personal decision initially that, I don't want to mix the two things.
Yeah.
But I think over time we understood each other, we got to know each other better. And I felt like I cannot let go of this,
Oh, sweetie.
I know.
I had to change my mind. So I changed my mind.
Yeah.
Like
Simply.
It doesn't happen every day, right? So,
yeah, doesn't happen every day. But yeah, so their 5-year plans include the same things that ours would include. For example, getting better at work, traveling a lot, furthering ourselves in that sort of way. I think that in that sense, there's a lot more to talk about with, fellow people our age. Also, people are a lot more comfortable talking about the things that aren't going right in their lives. So you feel like a sort of camaraderie with them also. So I think that earlier, at least, and this is a guess, like, mom and dad's generation, for example, like people would just be like, sab theek hai, everything's fine. They don't really talk about feelings or like what's going on in their minds. And today that's very different. I think that's all we talk about all the time, like,
really?
What are your vulnerabilities? Yeah.
And is Aman comfortable sharing that?
I'm absolutely comfortable sharing. I think I got into, about 4 or 5 years ago, I think I started therapy. I think that really changed me as a person. So I've been very open about my feelings, my emotions, and what's going on in my mind. So yeah, I think today's generation is very different that way. And a lot of my friends are also very open about things. And so it's just a lot easier, I think.
Yeah.
Today.
I think so.
What is the fulcrum of a good relationship as per the two of you?
Oh, that's a very good question.
I think honesty trumps everything. But also, apart from being honest, I feel one has to be accepting of the other person, because you spend so much time together and there will be cracks. There will be times when you get irritated. There will be things which are new to you that you don't want to do or you don't like. It's just, there will be adjustment issues. So these are the two things for me, I think, primarily. What about you? What do you think?
Um, for me, it's you should be able to sometimes see your partner as a little child. And so what that means is that if you know if a child is going through a tough time, you wouldn't say, oh, shut up, everyone goes through that. You would be understanding. You'd say, tell me, why do you feel this way? There's just infinite more patience when it comes to children. People are just more willing to sit down and speak to them and accept them and handle tantrums or whatever it is, just their curiosity. And as we get older, I think we sort of forget that, and we just sort of assume the other person knows what we're thinking, but that's often not the case. And so if we sort of view certain interactions in that way and bring some more patience into a conversation, bring some more understanding, bring some more curiosity, then I think that you've got something really solid. Because when you start being contemptuous of your partner, that's a really bad thing. When you start looking down on them, that's not good. So as long as you can do the opposite of that, I think that's good.
It's a kindness, understanding.
Yes.
So
Kindness.
I personally feel that it requires a village. And what I mean by that is it requires so many people to give me the happiness that I want. Yeah. And I have different types of friends. I have my workout buddies. I have work buddies that I go out with. And then, of course, the occasional dating and stuff that one does. So once you are married, and what I see in married couples my age again, is that all their expectations become focused on one human being, right? And that one human being is expected to become an entire village within themselves to fulfill all your wishes.
Right.
Does that happen with you guys also, or do you still find avenues and people where you could find their little things without expecting everything 100% from each other?
It happens on and off with me. I think I do sometimes start expecting a lot from her, but it's not always going to happen that way, and that's not the right way to do it. Because there are certain things where maybe we may not be able to help each other out, and we may have to figure it out on our own. And this could be smaller things, bigger things. I don't know. I think we've been in those situations.
Yeah. I agree. For example, I like doing certain things on my own. Like I like sitting at home and working. Aman likes to go out and work. He likes to maybe go to a cafe or work at the office. So that's his time. That's what he does. He'll go to the gym. He'll hang out with his friends. Like recently also, we were both supposed to go for a wedding to Thailand, but I couldn't go because the cats were unwell. So Aman went, and that was great because honestly, I think both of us had a good time.
Change. I think distance made the heart grow fonder. So
not just that, I think we were comfortable with it. It wasn't like weird. It wasn't like, oh, you're not here. I think I may die. No, it wasn't like that at all. It was just it was easy. You're in communication. You trust the other person. You're having a good time on your own. My sister was staying with me here. So it was nice. I think it's good. It's good to have distance, frankly speaking. It's good to do your own thing.
And then come back stronger, even with those little couple of days breaks.
Yeah. Also, I think the other problem with codependency, I think that's what it would be, is that, look, we're not going to be around forever, right? One person will go first. It's not good to be codependent. Is my point in that. I saw it with my grandparents, and I don't think I'd ever want to see a repeat of that. So to be your own person is just very important for me, especially having seen that.
So, what are the three things that you would tell people in relationships your age?
Oh, Aman.
Three things in a relationship or getting married. I think they're two different things. But I
Ah.
think with
Relationship.
again, if you're talking about relationships, I don't think there are any rules. There are very few rules. About finding
lot less
balance,
than
finding your happiness. Sometimes you have to prioritize the needs of the other partner. So yeah, I think that would be one of the rules to a beautiful, healthy
Okay,
relationship.
so now tell me what's commitment?
Hmm. Okay. Okay. What is commitment? Commitment is figuring out life together. It's not necessarily the definitions of commitment we've, grown up hearing and believing, but it's just knowing that, this is the person I want to figure out life with. It's not something, it's something I'll work on. If things go, if things need work, I'll work on them. It's not very articulate. I'm so sorry, but
It's
it's
beautiful.
essentially it's essentially finding that person that you'd want to build a home with, right? And what is a home but your relationship?
Hmm.
What about you, Aman? What do you think commitment is?
Commitment, apart from being completely honest and truthful and loyal, I think I will have the same thing to say. I
Mhm.
think it's about living together forever, and
Forever is a long time.
forever is a long time, certainly. Yes.
So while you're committed to forever, you do also take each day as it comes. Is that right?
Yeah, that's actually a really, really good way of putting it, because you want to believe that forever exists, but sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. That's fine. That's life.
Yeah. That's obviously the long term, but in the short run, also just making sure, being committed to making the other person happy, taking care of their needs,
About
taking care.
where do you see yourself? How do you see yourself growing old? Where do you see yourselves going? And how do you see yourselves evolving together?
Okay, yeah.
I think there's a lot of improvement since we started. We're a lot more compatible since we started. Don't you agree?
Okay.
And I think where are we going to be? Where is this heading? I think we'll be spending a lot more time together. On a, but I mean, I don't know. Why don't you also say something here?
Okay, so
Then I'll come back, and because I know this, I didn't really say
that's
it well.
okay. I think that if it's talking about evolving together, if, for example, if both of us have different aspirations from today that may change, to be accepting of those, to be supportive of those, I do see us, us maybe living outside of the country, for example. That's another thing that I think we talk about a lot, because we both really want to experience that while we can. Obviously, India is home, and we like to come back to that eventually. But while we can do it, why not? Traveling a lot more together.
Top of the list right
Because
now.
we are good travel buddies. That is something I would say. Aman is the prepared one. I'm the fearful one. So, he's very relaxed when it comes to going to the airport, taking a flight. I'm very paranoid, very anxious. And then, Aman's very good at making plans about what we'll do, where we'll go, all those things. And I like to take a back seat and just let him take the lead. So that's also, I think that's really good that, we're good on.
Yeah, that's a good balance.
For sure. So I haven't really pictured what life would be maybe 5-10 years down the line. I hope it'll be good.
I think a lot of time, we'll be spending a lot more time with each other. We are clearing out a lot of things. We're trying to do less work, less of
more work from home. More work from
that
home.
has been helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
That's all.
guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
This is
Yeah.
very nice. I'm still very surprised that
I'm
we are
very
the
surprised
ones.
you invited me.